7-year-old Mark Tildesley from Wokingham. Despite a huge police inquiry, there's still no trace of Mark. It's a long shot, perhaps, hoping for new witnesses a year on. After all, hundreds of people have already tried to help. But Thames Valley Police have asked us to use the anniversary, which was 2 weeks ago now, to film a reconstruction and see if we could still jog a memory and provide a new and vital clue. Mark's home is in Wokingham, 10 miles from Reading in Berkshire.
The fair was back in Wokingham this weekend, on the same ground at Wellington Road, where it's been each May or June for 50 years. Mark's home, too, was in the centre of Wokingham. The fair was a 5-minute bike ride away. It's 50 miles away on Friday, the 1st of June last year at 7:20 in the morning. A lorry stops for a hitchhiker on the A30.
Going to Wokingham? Yeah.
The driver, Shane Northway, picked up his passenger 20 miles east of Salisbury, just outside Stockbridge. He remembers the man well.
There was a little bit of odour there, and you could see he'd been sleeping rough. There was dirt all around the collar of his shirt. His Mac was really filthy on the inside, red lining. Where you going, mate?
I'm making my way around country looking for work.
He was in the cab with me for about 2 3/4 hours, and I eventually dropped him off just past the fairground in Wokingham.
You can drop me off here, mate, if you like. It'll do me.
I'll just pull down the road out the way of the traffic.
All right.
When the man got out, he headed back up Wellington Road towards the fairground. It was a busy time on the main road, and someone must have seen him.
Bye-bye, Mark. See you later.
Mark's mother left home at 5:15 that evening to go to work. She hasn't seen Mark since.
Bye.
Mark left the house half an hour later, telling his father he was going to the fair. He was a quiet, shy boy, often to be seen on his bike in the town centre. The tiger jacket he wore that day was eye-catching and distinctive. Eyewitness accounts confirm that Mark was at the fair by 6:30 that evening. 2 witnesses recall that a man appeared to be watching Mark. Police are also certain that an hour and a quarter later, Mark was still at the fair, now on the Dodgems. It's possible that the man who was with him was the same man who earlier had been watching him. He was about 6 feet tall, with scruffy hair, very similar to the man dropped off earlier in the day by the lorry driver. Except this man had glasses. About 8 p.m, Mark leaves the fairground with the same man. Though he left his bike behind, Mark appears to have left the fair quite willingly.
Correct for 2 points. Challenge or tell me so.
It was this man, David Hine, who may have been the last person to see Mark Tildesley that Friday evening. If it was Mark, he was in Langborough Road, apparently with the same man he'd been with at the fair. Mark has never been seen again. His mother still refuses to believe the worst.
I still say someone's got him and they're living rough or something, because it's a mother's instinct. I know he's all right.
Well, we still hope so. Detective Superintendent Tony Miller is now in charge of this investigation. Now, how likely is it that the hitchhiker, the man there at the fair, and the man we've just seen in Langborough Road are one and the same man, in fact?
Quite frankly, we can't say positively What I can say is I'm fairly sure that the man seen at the fair and the man in Langborough Road are one and the same. You will recall the description given of the man who had the lift by the lorry driver. It's not dissimilar to the man at the fairground. In fact, he was about 45 to 60 years of age. He had grey hair, browning, and indeed he was described as having a long nose. This was a feature about him, and also a beard growth, which indeed matched the man who was given the lift.
Now, the man seen at the fair had spectacles on. So if we look at our video fit, we can see what he might look like with glasses on. Right. Now, the hitchhiker in the lorry wasn't wearing any glasses, was he?
Indeed he wasn't, and indeed the man in Langborough Road wasn't. But other than that, the descriptions are very, very similar.
So what you want to do is for the man who was hitchhiking that ride in the lorry that day to at least come forward so that you can eliminate him?
Indeed we would, yes.
Well, if we can recap on his movements that day, the lorry driver picked up the hitchhiker on Friday the 1st of June, and that was just west of Stockbridge, and at 7:20 in the morning. They then travelled up the A30 and along the M3 and reached Wokingham at about 10 to 10, again that morning, and the driver dropped him off in Wellington Road near to the fair. Now, do we know where he went after that?
We don't, but perhaps we could start by going back to the commencement of that journey, and you will recall that he had a tachograph in his hand,
We can see it there.
and as the viewers can see. The reason I take you back there is because indeed this man may have been a lorry driver. If he was, other persons may have given him a lift from Wokingham. If, in fact, they did, we'd like them to come forward.
We should say that anybody who hitches the lift with one of the tachograph is saying to a lorry driver that he's another lorry driver.
Indeed, that gives the indication, yes. In addition to that, there was a conversation by this man with the lorry driver to the effect he was looking for casual labour fruit picking. I'd like to hear from anyone who gave employment of that nature to a man of that description.
So somebody might remember picking up somebody with a tachograph, because that was quite distinctive.
Indeed they might. As we've emphasised, if nothing else, we want to eliminate this man from the inquiry.
Right. Now, you've traced so far about 400 people who were actually at the fair on that day. How many more people do you think you need to see? How many more people were there?
I can't answer how many people were there, but what I can say is I want to speak to every person who went at the fair that evening. Indeed, let us be the judge of what they saw as to whether it's of evidential value. Please come forward and contact us.
And just once again, we've seen the jacket in the film. Let's have one more look at it. You brought it, a facsimile of the jacket in with the tiger motif.
Indeed. That's the jacket, or very similar to the jacket that Mark was wearing. And that might indeed attract the attention of persons that night.
Right, so to sum up, you need to find the hitchhiker on that day, the one who hitched a ride in the lorry, anybody else who was at the fair that day to come forward, who hasn't come forward already, and the man in Langborough Road, who was seen in Langborough Road towards the evening.
Indeed we would. In addition to that, I would also like to say, as a parent, as I'm sure many of the viewers are parents, we can only imagine the anguish this family have faced over the last 12 months. We will pursue the inquiry relentlessly. Please, if anyone has any information additional to what we've asked for, please come forward and contact us.
Thank you very much indeed. And if you think you know anything that might help us to find Mark, here's the number again, 01 811 8055. Or you can ring Thames Valley Police at Reading on 0734 585 111. That's 0734, the code for Reading, 585 111.